Welcome back to Lobby Concessionals, the show where nobody's right and everybody's wrong. I'm Parker, and that's Brendon. Make sure to take that like button on a date, buy some flowers for the subscribe.
It'll treat you right.
Yeah. Yeah. I figured today what we do is we take a look at a segment I think we're going to call Late to the Show, where we take a look, one of the two of us takes a look at a movie that we haven't seen that maybe we should have for this, that, or the other reason. Today we are going to be tackling Avatar, James Cameron's 2009 epic. Which Brendon has somehow avoided, given that it is, I believe, still the most popular film of all time, based on
Dollars?
box office gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brendon. First of all, why did you avoid Avatar?
All right. So there's gonna be
All right.
there's gonna be a bunch of bad takes here.
From you.
From me.
Okay,
From
okay,
me.
okay.
Or hot takes. Firstly, I'm not a big James Cameron guy.
No, that's wrong.
I'm not a big James Cameron guy.
Okay,
Straight
so why aren't you a big James Cameron guy? Is it just you get upset when someone puts out banger after banger?
I don't know. At the end of the day, I like Alien over Aliens, and I know he did both Terminators, but I like the first Terminator more than the more successful, more commercially better reviewed second one.
But you still like both of them.
Yeah, I think when I revisit Terminator 2, I'm not in love with it as much as I used to be.
But are you still in love with Terminator 1?
Yeah.
A James Cameron film.
Yes.
Okay.
And I like The Abyss.
Okay.
Things like that. I kind of, I don't hate Titanic. I think it's a fine movie.
That's not much to say about it.
No.
There's a lot of things I don't hate in life.
Much like a George Lucas, I think Cameron's gone on to maybe make films for not the same reasons I like film.
Okay.
Well, I almost, there's a fine line there, and I could have said that in a lot of bad ways, but that's the best way I could probably do it without insulting just about everybody. But I when Titanic was coming out, it just felt like it was such a point of pride that it was the most expensive movie ever made, as opposed to making the best movie he could possibly make. And he just happened to put out a decent movie, which is fine. He's fine, and then he disappears. And then he comes back and he's like, I'm going to make a movie with all this new technology and make the most expensive movie ever made and go out of my way to try to make, the most successful movie ever made.
Yeah, but so everyone's trying to make the most successful movie ever made.
Yeah. But I think it takes just a certain type of asshole to go out and do it. Like purposely go out and do it. And to me, it makes it's even all the more clear when he re-releases it after Avengers takes him down.
Yeah. Granted, in fairness to him, I do think there was.
It's a studio thing for sure.
No, but in fairness to him, though, Avengers had re-released by that point. Now, granted, it was a re-release of the same year, and technically, it only counts as a re-release because in some cases, theaters had pulled it
already
for like a week or two.
Yeah.
And then it just got.
Yeah.
Surged back out to those
and then get re-released 10 years later just to take back a number one spot.
But I think the point is it did take that spot back. I think as much as I think it's okay, he won on a technicality sort of, but people still went and saw it. No one was forced to. So clearly there is still a demand for that film.
Yeah. Sure. And like I said, I don't begrudge anybody for liking the movie.
Sure.
But if you were, I had planned to see it in 2009. It wasn't going to be an opening day thing.
Sure.
For sure. But then it became the cult of Avatar.
Yeah.
And that didn't help my cause. Maybe the first week I'd have been like, I get it. It's popular. You love it. I'm going to go see it eventually. And then it just it became a thing where people were jumping down my throat about it. And you know me, if people are going to start telling me what to do, I'm just going to do the absolute opposite. Right?
So it's a spite thing.
So it's a spite thing, which is how I live my life.
I do think Avatar is interesting because those first 2 weeks of Avatar, I don't actually have the numbers in front of me, but I believe they were not its peak.
No, it was afterwards.
It was a bit of a slow burn actually in terms of yes, it was definitely successful right away.
Absolutely.
But it is definitely something that spread on word of mouth.
Yeah.
and the successes of its marketing.
Yeah.
But again, the marketing didn't succeed enough to get popularity in that first week. And then I think the other big thing that was with Avatar is the continuing popularity, is that people kept going. And so there was a lot of films you typically see 30 to 40% drop in their weekend box office.
Avatar had the rise.
And Avatar went up and then stayed and like plateaued. And that's insane.
That's crazy to me.
Anyway, sorry.
No, that's so there was a little the indifference to James Cameron. The peer pressure, and sure, I'll say peer pressure. You say spite, whatever it's gonna be.
Potato.
So it was one of those things. So I thought, I was gonna wear that as a badge of honor, that I was never gonna watch this movie. And it looks like I swallowed that badge. Because gotta do it for the clicks.
Don't stick to your ideals. Not a man of principle, I see. What did you think?
Okay, so I'm going to preface, because I have to. I had a hard time getting over my bias of already thinking I wasn't going to like the movie.
Okay.
I struggled with it the entire way through. Okay. And then I have to take into the fact that the 90% of the reason people watched it in theaters was for the big screen and the 3D, which I didn't get the luxury of.
Yeah.
So now I have to base it on the merits of just as a movie, and it's already behind the 8 ball because I think I'm going to hate it.
Yeah, and just to establish a little bit of context from my end of things, I watched this movie I think 8 times in theaters. I was in high school, but like it was revolutionary in theaters. I watched it a lot in IMAX. And I do own the film. I remember I think I was given it for Christmas the next year because someone's like, "Oh, Parker loves Avatar."
Yeah.
And then I watched it I think once at home, and it just wasn't the same experience. Yeah. So like that theater experience did mean a big deal for this movie in particular.
So I was cognizantly aware of what would have looked good.
Sure.
And it's very obviously very quickly that most of it is shot for that experience.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep.
So it's behind the 8 ball because I think I'm going to hate it.
Yeah.
I don't have the reason why I should have watched it to begin with.
Right.
That being said, it's not a bad movie. It's not a good movie.
Okay. So what did you give me pros and cons? What did you like? What you didn't like?
Like I said, I think some of that world stuff is all right. I'm not a big fan of all the living stuff. I don't like the cat people. I don't like the dog things. I don't like most of I think I like the flying things were pretty cool.
The pterodactyl things?
Yeah, the pterodactyl things I thought were the best looking creature designs. I thought everything else was kind of mid.
Just in terms of creature design, like you thought it was uninspired?
Uninspiring. And I like the cat people were kind of off-putting, to be honest with you. Like I had a hard time they look stupid.
Is that an uncanny valley thing? Like you didn't enjoy the CG of it, or is it literally just that the creature design sucked and the?
I think there's a little bit of both. I had issues like, especially early on, couldn't tell them apart.
Couldn't tell what apart?
Any of the people.
Okay.
Any of the people apart, like, and then they have to go. They go out of their way a lot by the second half to make sure it's Jake. It's a lot of close-ups. It's a lot of like. By the way, that's the one you want to pay attention to.
And that's interesting because, like, first of all, I don't remember having that problem, but secondly, it's all mocapped to Sam Worthington's face.
Yeah.
So I know that
it doesn't help. He has the most blandest face in the world to go along with his acting.
I know that mocap really became a thing for Lord of the Rings in the early 2000s, but it was still fairly in its infancy.
No, you can tell it's
by 2009.
Yeah,
so
you can tell it's still a leap in technology.
Sure.
And a massive leap. Even without the big screen and all the 3D, you could see it.
Yeah.
You could see it, but it's still... I just thought the designs themselves were not the technology, but the designs themselves were not inspiring. I didn't... I struggled with all the acting for a lot of it. Okay. And I don't know if, I as a guy for... Like, James Cameron directs one movie every 10 years. And you don't know if he's losing his touch or if he's just a little dated. Because I think, we had a quick conversation because I was very angry while watching it. And we talked about Stephen Lang's Colonel Miles.
Yeah.
And you thought he was great.
I did think he was great.
Right, but to me, he's such a parody of 80s macho charisma thing, which is like a weird James Cameron thing.
Well, and for the record, that's why I thought he was great. Is like he's supposed to be an archetype.
But right? I don't like it. It's weird because nobody like everybody. There are archetypes in the movie.
Sure,
but he stands out as a guy that belongs in Aliens.
He's cartoonish.
Yeah. He belongs in Aliens and not Avatar.
Yeah.
In the first half of the movie, I thought Sigourney Weaver was really rushed. Like she was just delivering lines, and just kind of reading them out. Like she gets better. By the time she knows she's maybe not going to be in it that much anymore.
Yeah.
Obviously Sam's rough, he like is trying so hard to hide that accent. Does he have an accent?
He does. I believe he's
Australian or something like that, because it's just coming in and out.
What did you think about him playing a paraplegic? Because I remember at the time being floored by it. I thought he was like I literally looked him up, wondering if he was
actually
if he was actually paralyzed.
Yeah, I thought the physical part of it was good. I thought he did a good physical stuff. I think anytime there was emotion or talking, I think I struggled with it a little bit. I thought Zoe was really good, unless she was crying. I struggled with her when she cried because it just felt like feral yelling. So I thought there's a little bit of overacting then, and again, to me that's a Cameron thing. It's just you don't direct enough movies, and maybe you lose a little bit of that, a little bit of direction or maybe what that is, or you're focused on the other stuff.
It could be a mocap thing again too, right?
Sure, like,
That's probably her first time where she's got the dots in her face and she's got a camera right here. And
but it's the nonstop the crying, which is the yelling. Sigourney delivering her lines too fast, Sam not really conveying enough. So there's a whole bunch of that stuff.
Sure.
That I struggled with, and I was just bored. Right, and I get, and I don't want to be that guy that says, well, it's just Dances with Wolves or Pocahontas or whatever like that. That's bullshit. That's not the argument. I think there's a quote there. There's only 5 real stories in the world, and it's just how well you tell them.
Yeah.
And I just don't think this one is told very well. I don't think I was probably one of those guys that was like, if I want to watch a good version of Avatar, I'll just watch fucking Ferngully.
Yeah.
and I was probably that guy, but watching it I'm like, no, like that's bullshit. Like those movies, why wouldn't I watch Pocahontas over Dances with Wolves, or why wouldn't I watch, but that's moot. But like I just don't think it's still a well told story.
Well, and the Pocahontas argument is tough. Like partially it's rough for Avatar because it's one of the most expensive movies ever made, and I'm like, why couldn't you make an original story? Like, I think that's where it really sticks with me, where I'm like, it just feels lazy. However, I am a defender of Avatar for this exact same reasons you mentioned, is that lots of people have done the Pocahontas story.
Absolutely.
It sucks a little bit that Avatar is effectively a Mad Libs. Like, there's definitely just replaced words, and then that's it.
Yeah.
But, like, District 9 comes out that same year. And District 9 is effectively a Pocahontas story. Yeah. And no one gives it that same trouble. Now, ultimately, the story's not really what you're there for. Like, that movie succeeded for other reasons. But I'm glad that you pointed out we can touch on the Pocahontas thing.
Yeah.
And not use it as one of the main detractors.
No, it's not. And like I said, I went into it very self-aware of everything that I possibly could say. And I just didn't want to be another random dude yelling at the sky, right?
Sure.
That's why I was like, it's not even a bad movie. You said it. It was one of the most expensive movies ever made. Why couldn't we put maybe a tenth of that into a script, or a story, or something? Yeah. Right.
Yeah, a little bit more there would have been nice.
Yeah.
So I think one of the bigger points was the world building. What did you think of aside from creature design? What did you think of the world they built?
That's it was all right. Like, I think the names are impossible, and I think that hurts it.
The names of
everything, like the deities, Iwa, or
sure.
I think all rolled together in when you're trying to get people immersed into it. Like, I understand it's cool. It's a very unique sounding name, but you want things to stick. Like, I don't know the name of her dad. I don't know the name of her mom.
Yeah.
I don't know the name of the main warrior dude, because they all sound the same. And I don't know if that's on me or if that's just a thing. Or like, am I Avatar racist? I don't know.
You could be.
I could be. Like, and because I feel like I feel like I do it a disservice because at some point those names have to come from some kind of origin.
They do.
Right? And that makes me feel bad that I couldn't latch onto it. And so it's a me thing. I just want to take the responsibility of it, right?
I appreciate that. But they literally made a language for the film. They constructed a language from scratch. This wasn't just a find and replace thing. Like, they literally...
Yeah.
You know, like Tolkien kind of stuff.
Sure.
I think one of the most interesting things about Avatar is the fact that it's had exactly zero cultural impact since. You know, it swept the world. Still one of the, if not the number one movie box office wise.
It is.
And no one remembers anything. Like, I would be surprised if most people can remember that the main character's name is Jake Sully. Which is not a hard name to remember, you know, like, granted, it's a very common or very normal name. So it's like, doesn't stick out. But like, I saw a meme about Avatar the other day, where someone was like, man, when someone tells you Avatar 2 is not going to be massively successful, tell them this. And then it's a screenshot of Jake Sully's character saying something like, I think it's, tell them Toruk Maktu calls to them. And like the retweets, like, what the hell does this mean? It's like, it's something that everyone has seen this film.
Yeah.
No clue what they're talking about.
Yeah.
You know, like,
so that was really tough. But the world stuff is like, and I had one moment where I thought, hey, that would have been fucking cool in theaters. And it was when he learns to fly.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's
and you could
dope.
And you can tell.
Yeah.
You can tell just by watching it, even on a small screen without the 3D, that would have been fucking sick. The rest of it, I could have done it didn't matter to me.
So that's really where I disagree with you. Like, I really enjoyed that film for its time. Again, I enjoyed it a lot in theaters. I don't think it was boring by any means. I liked the mech fights. I liked the world. I didn't have an issue with the creature design. Maybe a little uninspired, sure.
Yeah.
Bigger, scarier Earth creatures, effectively, is what they are, you know. But just to put things a little bit into context as well, at the time, there was actively a thing that the media branded Avatar depression syndrome.
Yeah.
Because people were sad they wouldn't get to experience that world in real life.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like, maybe people are morons, but like,
no, like, the thing is, like, if you can find value there, good on you.
Yeah.
Like, if you can find value in that world and all that stuff, it's just not a world I ever want to be a part of. I don't want to be a 7 foot tall cat person, squatting and eating and praying to a tree. If you want to do that, that's way cool. Like, that's awesome. I'll fly a dinosaur.
Yeah.
I'll fly a dinosaur. I won't do just about anything else.
Well,
so,
like, I do the weird hair connection USB
nope.
thing.
That's a hard pass for me.
I'd jack myself into all sorts of stuff.
No.
You know, like, can you imagine teenagers? Oh my god!
See, the thing is, the concept for that is pretty cool, right? Like, I love the concept of the hair connection.
Oh sure.
Yeah. So there's cool stuff there. Like, I went in there actively looking for stuff to be like, okay, I have to pick out stuff I like.
Sure.
Or else this is just going to be a pile of shit. And so I tried. I don't hate it. I say that,
but I don't like it.
But I definitely don't like it.
So
and more so, I'm never going to watch 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's what I was starting to ask. Is that, are you going to be there for Avatar 2?
Never.
Not at all.
Not at all.
That's a hard no.
a hard no.
Okay, so let's back this, or let's build this out a bit. Avatar 2 comes out.
Yeah.
It is the most successful film of all time.
Yeah.
You know, like, this is all hypothetical, obviously. Yeah. Most successful film of all time.
Yeah.
Blows past Avatar. Like easily, handily becomes the most successful film of all time.
Correct.
It is a technological advancement, a technological marvel.
Okay.
It is defining what films are going to look like from here on out.
Yeah.
And it's critically acclaimed. Like, massive. We're talking, like, people are like, this is the Citizen Kane of modern filmmaking.
Yeah.
Where are you?
No.
You're at home still.
I'm at
You're
home
not
still.
even going to watch.
No. I would actively avoid theaters if that's in theaters.
Okay, but You acknowledged the fact that you would theoretically enjoy this more if you had seen it in theaters.
Maybe.
Wow.
So I like that you threw in critically acclaimed. Mm-hmm. Critically acclaimed, because this movie may have had it felt like a mixed bag. People really, really loved it, but not for the right reasons. Like the reasons that I would look for a film, right? A lot of it was like, it looks amazing. Like it's an immersive experience. It's an experience, but not any of them said like, "Hey, it's a good movie."
But they kind of did.
Nah.
Like, it's got an 86 on Metacritic.
Yeah, but
that's
again,
massive.
Yeah, but again, most of it it's technological. It's not story based. It's not character based. If you told me Avatar 2 was critically acclaimed, and you, maybe not you because you like this movie and I disagree, but if I read a ton of reviews or crowdsourced a bunch of reviews that told me the story is great and the characters were great and all those things that I would look for in a film would be amazing, I would still need one more movie of that before I went back and did it. because for me, I haven't gotten that from James Cameron in a long time. So I would think of it as a fluke.
Yeah, but he's put out one movie in 20 years. So
so that's the problem, right? Like, so
I'm just saying, if you didn't like that one movie, it's gonna have been a while. You know?
That's on him, not me. So no, I wouldn't watch it. I don't. That first movie didn't give me a reason to come back.
Okay. So last question. Summarize, just to get a good glimpse. Given the fact that the world is arguably one of the best parts of that film.
Yeah.
And given the fact that you are a big Disneyland theme park guy.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the world of Pandora in Walt Disney World? I don't know if you've actually visited or been through it, but is that something you would take part in?
I would have taken part in it without watching the movie. I haven't taken part in it at all.
Ever.
I haven't been there as Pandora's been open.
Me neither.
Right.
For context.
I would probably enjoy it more without having seen the movie, because now I'm going to pick out stuff from the movie and be like, ugh. That's just, again, it's my bias showing, and but I'll own it. Like, I struggled with the idea of the movie, and I was bored to tears for the most part. Like I said, I don't hate it. It sounds like I do, and maybe I do a little bit. I don't know.
I think you hate it.
I think I'm just trying to make it sound better than it really was. I don't think it's a good movie. Okay. I don't like it at all. And I can try to tell you that I don't like it as much as possible, but I think I might hate it a little bit.
Well, I think that's probably where we're at.
Yeah. Here's the best way to put it. I don't hate it, but I regret watching it.
Okay. That's upsetting. But okay. Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, let us know what you think. I
definitely understand how many people are gonna just completely burn me for this.
I don't know if they are. I think this opinion has become more popular.
Yeah, but again, we touched on it earlier. The opinion, the anti-Avatar hate usually has the same three arguments.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
And I also think it's so much of it comes rooted from I don't like things that are massively popular.
Yeah, sure.
So. Like, I roll my eyes at people like that because I'm like, what? Just let people like things.
Yeah, absolutely. Which is kind of why I didn't watch it. I was like, if you guys like it, that's cool, man. Just don't get me to watch it so I can shit all over it.
Yeah, but let us know what you think. What is your opinion of Avatar? Did you watch it in theaters? Are you still a fan? We're one of those people that bought a 3D TV. No judgment. Curious. I'd be happy to come over and give it a shot.
This is a little bit of judgment from me.
Okay. Well, Brendon doesn't matter.